Hello all you awesome humans, I'm Katt Dee and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with the Wheel of TBR, which I've never done on my channel, but as you guys know, I've been doing wheels for other things on my channel, and I'm going to give credit for the booktuber who I saw originally do this, and that's Cody's Book Corner, and I took her idea and I've been utilizing it for my movie reviews. So if you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. I haven't done a ton of book content on this channel, but I hope to remedy that as I work my wheel and my reviews into my channel. So I'm going to add my book content to my channel. As you guys know, we have pink, which is the Disney Plus. We have the blue, which is Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. And now I have green, which is going to be my book prompts for my Wheel of TBR. So I have them right here. And I'm just going to go through them. Well, actually, I'll pull and then I'll throw the ones in the box that I'm not going to be using. So I'm just going to randomly pull my prompts here and then I'll tell you the prompts that didn't make the board. So there'll be 14 prompts on the board and then I'll I'll spin the wheel 8 times every month, and those are the books I'm going to have to read for that month. So the first prompt we have is middle grade. And I will pull them off and then put them closer to the camera so you guys can see them. Then we have TBR Vet, which is a book that's been in my TBR for a long time. Then we have a book that was gifted. Then we have continue a series. Then we have a pretty cover. We all know a lot of the times us book lovers will just buy a book because we like the cover. And you guys can see my husband has torn his computer apart. So that's what that's there in the background for. All right, so the next one we have is potluck. And my potluck is basically I can choose any single book that I want. And then the next one we have is YA fantasy. And then we have reread. And then we got book challenge. So what book challenge is I'm doing the Pop Sugar book challenge and the A to Z book challenge for this year. So if I pull this, I will pick a book off of one of those two. Then we have travel. What I'm going to use for travel is basically a book that's set outside of the United States. So if any book that's set outside the United States, it will count for travel. All right, then the next one we have is a new author, so an author I've never read. Then we have start a new series. Adaptation. So an adaptation is basically if the book has been made into a movie or television show. So if I pull that one, I will most likely read the book and then watch the adaptation. Then we have big book. So a big book is a book that's over 500 pages. So we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel 8 times. I still have prompts here. I will, as I pull one down, I will tell you what book I'm going to choose for that, and then I'll replace it with a new prompt. So let's just get right into it. Spin number 1. Gifted. So a book that was gifted to me. I know just what I'm going to pick for this one. All right, and so for gifted, I chose Descender Volume 2. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Descender, this is by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. And basically, this follows a not-so-human boy who is the only person that's left on his planet or in his civilization. And he's all by himself. And then these several groups are trying to find him and either kill him or protect him. And I loved volume 1, so I cannot wait to read volume 2. I will read the back here. It says, one young robot's struggle to stay alive in a universe where all androids have been outlawed and bounty hunters lurk on every planet. A rip-roaring and heartfelt cosmic odyssey that pits humanity against machine and worlds against worlds to create a sprawling space opera from the creators of Sweet Tooth and Little Gotham. And like I said, I loved the first one, and so I really can't wait to read this one. I'm so excited. So this is what I chose for spin number 1. So we are going to replace that one with adult fantasy, my favorite genre. All right, spin number 2. We have YA fantasy, which I also like. So let me pick a book for this and then I'll be right back. So for YA fantasy, I chose A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I got this a long time ago in a book box, I believe. And this is a different version than the normal version. So this version does not match book number 2, but hopefully I can get a spin to where I can read book number 2 as well, because I would love to marathon both of those. I've heard nothing but great things about these. So basically, this even says right here, it's a modern retelling of Beauty and the Beast. That's really all I know. And this book is beautiful. I've never opened the dust jacket before. It's just blue, and then but the inside's like red. So I'm very excited to read this. It is by Bridget Kemmerer. So there we go. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. All right, so we're going to replace that prompt with husband pick. So if I pull this one, obviously my husband is going to have to pick a book for me. Next. This is spin number 3. Adaptation. So this is a book that is made into a TV series or a movie. So let me go grab something for that. Let me think. I think I have something for that. So for adaptation, I chose Death Note Volume 1. This also probably would have worked for something outside of my comfort zone. I've only ever read one manga before, and that was Fairy Tail. It was super short. This is really complicated. If you've never read manga before, you not only read it backwards, but you read it completely backwards. So this will take some getting used to. But I did see the not only did I see the anime version, which I really love, but I did see the movie version as well. And I do really prefer the anime version. This is the black edition, so this is volumes 1 and 2. I'm just going to count this as 1, and I cannot wait to dive into it. It's this month. And so yeah, so we have Death Note volume 1. Next one. So we're going to replace that with sci-fi. So spin number 4. Middle grade. I'm actually really excited about this because I just bought a middle grade book and I think it's gorgeous. If Pretty Cover would have came up, I would have picked this book too. So we go middle grade, and I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to show you guys how gorgeous this book is. So like I said, I'm so excited that I spun middle grade. I picked up the most beautiful book from Barnes & Noble, and it is called A Tale of Magic, and it is just gorgeous. I knew nothing about it, but look at this naked book. Like, it is so pretty. And I was in the middle grade section. I really want to build up my library of young readers in middle grade for my son, and I definitely want to make sure that I read everything before I put it on the shelf. I'm just that type of person, so if he wants to talk about it, I know what he's talking about, or we'll read it together. But he's only 4 months old. I'm way planning ahead. So this is A Tale of Magic by Chris Colfer. Like I said, I've never read it before, but he's the best-selling author of The Land of Stories, which I've also never read. But basically, I'll read the back for you. It says, in the distance, perched on the edge of a cliff overlooking the ocean, was a golden castle. The castle had a tall pointed towers and hundreds of wide windows, and the entire structure sparkled in sunlight. The carriage continued the path through the property and stopped at the castle's front steps. Madame Weatherbury escorted the children outside and gestured excitedly to the castle before them. Welcome to Madame Weatherbury's Academy of Magic, the fairy said. That has Harry Potter vibes. I'm excited now. Cannot wait to pick that up. So this was my middle grade. So we're going to replace middle grade with one word title. That's very self-explanatory. Spin number 5. Continue a series. So basically, again, I'm in the middle of a lot of series, but here we go. It's continue a series. And I have a few that I can choose from. Let me go grab one. So I'm so glad that this came up, that continued the series, and since I chose A Curse So Dark and Lonely, I decided to pick A Heart So Fierce and Broken. And like I said, these are the books that don't match. This one would have also worked for Gifted. A good friend of mine bought this for me, and I cannot wait to read it. And basically, it is a continuation of, like I said, A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I really don't know anything about this one. Like I said, the first one is a modern retelling of Beauty and the Beast. I'm assuming this takes place after that one. But like I said, I don't know. So I'm so excited. It's such a gorgeous cover. But yeah, there we go. So we're going to replace continue a series with most anticipated. All right, spin number 6. Travel. So remember, travel is any book that's set outside of the United States, and I know just what I'm going to pick for this, and you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to do it anyway. So here we go. So I knew exactly what I was going to pick for this. I just had to go grab it, and I definitely cannot wait to dive into this edition of this story, but I'm going to be reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and this takes place in London and then at Hogwarts. So definitely not in the United States. I did buy, if you guys know Nerdy Ink, they ran some limited edition Harry Potter covers, and I just pre-ordered them. They had ran them before and they sold out, and I didn't think I was going to be able to get them. But if you're a Harry Potter fan and you, I will post a picture right here. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but if you love Harry Potter as much as I do, you might want to pick up these covers. And they're pre-ordering them right now, and then once they sell out, they're never bringing them back. So go check that out. But here we go is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Everybody knows the story, and I'm so excited to read this edition. The 4th edition book took forever to come out, so I have no idea when the 5th one is going to come out. But I will buy it when it comes out. All right, we're going to replace travel with Out of Comfort Zone. So a book that I don't typically read. So for me, that would probably be some kind of romance contemporary or any kind of romance book, or a book that's in verse, or I don't know. I hope that doesn't come up. I don't want it to put me in a reading slump. This is spin number 7. And we have start a new series. That fell, but it was start a new series. So let me think of something and I'll be right back. 1. So for start a new series, I know this is kind of like graphic novel heavy this month. Well, I have a manga and a graphic novel. I'm adding another one. So here we go. This is Fables, which is book 1 in Fables. And basically this is, I'm just going to read it right off the bat. It's imagine that all the characters from the world's most beloved storybooks were real and living among us with all their powers intact. How would they cope with life in our mundane, unmagical reality? That is what Fables is about. I know there's a whole bunch of different characters in here. Snow White, like the hair. I know that I think like Red Riding Hood and Constantine. I think there's a whole bunch of different characters in these books. I own the first 4. And I definitely just want to get through them. I think there's like 17 of them, and I think some of them you can't get anymore. So I'm definitely going to try to pick up more of these. But this won the 2009 Hugo Award nominee for Best Graphic Story. So I'm excited to read Fables, and there's a glare on that, but there you go. And this is book 1. All right, so we're going to replace Start a New Series with Favorite Author. All right, last spin. I'm glad Big Book didn't come up. Woo! One word title. I know just what I'm going to pick for this too. Let me go grab it. So for my one word title, this was really easy for me. Like I said, I love continuing series once I've read them, and I just finished Illuminae. So now I want to pick up Gemina. Now, Illuminae was a reread for me, but I've never read Gemina, and I don't own Obsidio, so I'll have to pick up Obsidio. But these books are gorgeous. It's told all in mixed media, so the first one was told in like documents and messages via IM and whatnot. And this one I think is told the same way. So I have no idea where this one is going to take. So Illuminae, basically, I can't tell you what this one's about, but Illuminae is basically, it follows two characters, Ezra and Katie, and they are on this colony, and their colony gets attacked, so they all have to basically leave that colony. So they all go onto one of 3 ships, and Ezra and Katie end up on 2 different ships, and then there's a third ship. Well, the third ship, that neither Ezra or Katie is on, gets blown up, and they're trying to figure out who blew up the ship, why it blew up, and they're communicating ship to ship. And after rereading it, I forgot the plot twist in that book because it had been so long since I read it. And oh my gosh, if you don't like sci-fi, it doesn't matter. Pick up Illuminae. It is a great, fun, fast read. And if you're really like, it's also great on audiobook. So the first time I read it straight through, and it was really, really fast. Even though it's big, it's actually really fast because of the way the media is told. But then the second time I listened and followed along, because it's more fun if you're following along while you're listening. But it's got a cast of characters, like it's all cast, so it was really, really good. So I'm excited to pick up Gemina. All right, so we're going to replace one word title with most recent purchase. So these are the 8 books that I'm going to be reading for the month of May. We have Descender, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, Death Note, A Tale of Magic, A Heart So Fierce and Broken, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Fables Volume 1, and Gemina. So this should be no problem. I'll probably read more than this, but I will tell you how I do in my end of, I'll probably do exactly what like Cody does in Cody's Book Corner, and on my next TBR I will go over on how I did. But I hope to review some of these as well. So if there's certain books here that you would want to see a review for, just put it down in the comments below, and I'll make sure I try to get a review up for that. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching my Wheel of TBR. If you like this, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. Thanks so much. Bye!